What's up, listeners? Welcome back to the Outside Scoop podcast. I'm your host, Josh Groh. That's my co-host, Rob Solarzano. And today, we have a very special guest. Quinn, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Quinn Toennies.
That's it. Good job.
That's it.
Thanks for joining us today.
You keep going. I forgot to do something. They're going to see my pajamas, but that's okay.
Yeah, Rob's wearing his PJs today. He was supposed to be at the Cardinal game today, Cardinals-Mets. But it got rained out because it decided to just drench the entire city of St. Louis.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
We've had like 3 feet of rain.
Yeah.
Past probably.
Yep. It's been pretty horrible.
Maybe not
Anyway,
3
there's our new bobbleheads for the day.
Is that rolling?
Should I do Donovan because I got him today?
Yeah.
yeah.
Show it off. We got
Brand new.
the BD.
Wasn't that rolling one a Dodgers game? Like
I think it
August
was.
17th?
How do you know that?
I was there.
You're a freak.
Mookie Betts had a really good catch in the first inning. And I
Yes.
I
He
thought we were
also
going to
struck
get,
out to end the game.
we were going to get destroyed. Shohei hit one like further than I've ever seen a ball hit, and every person, There was an interesting demographic at the stadium that day.
I'm sure there was.
I was
all I'll
surrounded.
say.
I was surrounded by Dodgers fans because I was on the away side,
Yeah.
and they were so loud and obnoxious. And then when we were winning, I was like, it felt so good just to walk past them. Their heads were down. I was like, this is the best.
Rob has a visceral hatred for the Dodgers. Like, it's uncanny.
Yeah, they're bad. I don't like. Well, they're not bad, but
They're pretty good.
I don't
They're a
like
pretty
them
good
either.
team,
They're
but-
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's because they cheat.
I think I think Rob hates them more than the Cubs.
Really?
I hate the Brewers and the Dodgers more than the Cubs. Goodness, that Celsius did not go down the right
It's
pipe.
because it didn't look like it. That's how I feel about the Mets.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the number one Mets hater.
I don't have any vendettas against the Mets. I don't like the Dodgers, but I'd say I hate the Cubs more than the Dodgers.
Anytime the Mets do something wrong, I celebrate it
Yeah.
for a couple days.
Well, they won't be doing much wrong for the next, 12 years if they have
46
Juan
years.
Soto? Yeah.
They're gonna Bobby Bonilla him.
You think so?
By the end of the contract.
Yeah.
It's gonna go south. You can't give that much money to that guy.
No. Well, I mean, you can't too. Well, I was going to say to Shohei, but, he's getting all of it deferred until he retires. so,
Mascara.
yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen that yet? The new double celly that they're doing.
No.
They're doing this now.
Who, the Dodgers?
Yeah, when they hit a double, because there's a mascara ad from Japan where Shohei's like. Apparently, Kike Hernandez can't do it. Like, he ends up doing like John Cena on accident. Like, he
Kike's such an idiot. That guy.
He's one of the
sucks.
Dodgers I like, though.
Why?
I like Mookie, Hernandez, Freeman, Edman.
half the
Okay.
team.
No, I like 4 of them. I like 4 of them.
I hate their middle relievers. Sorry.
And I like Kershaw.
Well, yeah, there's not much to hate there. Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Anyway, now that we're done with the Dodgers hate, let's get to our main topic.
45-minute show, just like
We all hate the Dodgers. Our main topic today is the NHL playoffs. If you haven't been keeping up, 6 of the series are finished.
Yep.
And there's 2 more that are yet to be done. 2 Game 7s. That's Dallas, Colorado. They play tonight, which is May 3rd. And then St. Louis, Winnipeg plays tomorrow, which is May 4th. So by the time this episode comes out, every second round series will be set. We won't be predicting the second round series just because, we don't know who's going to win.
Dude, excuse me. I'm sorry about that.
I'm going to bass boost that. We can't predict
make a burp supercut. Like
supercut. We've already burped quite a bit in the
really?
yeah.
Yeah.
I have at least
I
2.
haven't.
I have.
I've
at
heard
least 2
one
from the last.
I've heard
yeah.
one so far, listening to some episodes. So
We could make a burp
Compilation.
compilation.
at the end of the first season. or
Yeah, we
whatever,
should.
Yeah, just for
if
20
you've
minutes.
got one later, just rip it.
Oh, I might. I had a lot of Diet Coke. Like a balloon.
I got the McDonald's DP today. All right, so let's go over these series. So Rob and I obviously predicted them
Yeah.
before.
I forget what I predicted.
Okay, well, don't worry because I don't forget.
Okay,
It's,
cool.
it's
I
right there. I see
never
it
forget.
on the
So,
computer.
Rob predicted the first one incorrectly. It was Vegas, Minnesota. That's where your bias came in.
You had Minnesota over Vegas.
He did.
And how many games?
I don't like Vegas.
Well, yeah.
They're a new team that's just dominated the league, and I don't know. I just don't enjoy that.
Okay.
He hates Vegas like he does the Dodgers.
That's fair. Well, they do the same thing. They spend a ton of money to win.
Yeah, and it works. And they're also leveraging their future though.
Right, it's gonna work till it doesn't.
Yeah,
they've got a window. They've already won.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't think they have a chance this year. Truthfully, I think they get bounced.
I think if they do have a chance, it's gonna be on the backs of Eichel and who's their goalie? Hill, Aiden Hill.
Is it Aiden Hill?
I think it is.
The last time I paid attention to them, it was Logan something, right? Who?
No, Logan Thompson's on the Capitals.
Okay.
It is Aiden Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this, man.
He won it for him last time though. He was their goalie.
He looks like Matt Murley.
Who?
Exactly.
Actually, who is that?
He played like 2 years on Pittsburgh from like 2006 to 2008.
This guy's crazy.
Well, he's on Spit and Chicklets. Too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's not like a complete nobody. I mean, he's a bum, but he's also a gambling addict.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
so is my brother.
He does all their gambling segments on.
I thought about putting odds on the graphics for like who was gonna win. I decided against it. Anyway, Vegas won in 6 games.
That's a wild team.
I have 1 point now. I'm up 1.
Yep.
But here's where you get me. The Oilers did beat the Kings in 6. I admittedly had the Kings in 7. Actually, no. Initially, I had the Kings in 5.
Was that pre or post harmonica?
Pre.
Okay.
Pre harmonica.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would you have known?
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were going to bring them back to do the national anthem. Did you know about that?
No.
The Harmonica Club or whatever?
I did not know.
I'll get
I'll get the official name.
Yeah.
With the Oilers, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they the best like power play team in the league?
I think so.
They're
I think
insane.
either them or Winnipeg had the best power play percentage in the regular season.
Yeah, so just play clean against them. Just don't play stupid. No tripping, no high. Whatever you can do, just don't get a power play against you. And I think you'll be fine against them.
So, did you watch the Game 6 highlights?
I did not.
The only person on like the top line that scored was Draisaitl. The rest was depth. It was like Nugent Hopkins had a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Hyman assisted one. One of their fourth liners got a goal. Then Darnell Nurse got a goal. He's one of their defensemen. And then, not Jake. Bouchard. Bouchard scored his first.
Oh, I thought you pulled up the harmonica.
I can't. I can pull up the video if you want. The Koreatown Senior and Community Center of Los Angeles played the national anthem. They started practicing in 2023.
Oh wow!
Took them 2 years to prepare the national anthem.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
thinking about that. But I mean, LA does have according to ESPN at least.
So Stu Skinner's not their starter. They've been starting Pickard.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, I was just about to say his save percentage was not that great.
Wow.
So no, it's not.
That makes sense. Okay.
We'll get to some goaltending talk later though. But yeah, Pickard is their starter for now.
Okay.
I would assume until Pickard starts doing bad, they're starting him.
I think if the Oilers stay healthy, they're dangerous, but that's a big if.
They're very fast and they got a young team.
Everybody on their roster was hurt the last week. That's why I lost the Fantasy Hockey League.
Yeah.
Because I had 4 Oilers and they all died last week of the regular season. Yeah.
Wallman got hurt.
Yep.
I think Nurse was hurt.
Not Eichel. Why did I say Eichel? Draisaitl was out.
Draisaitl was out. Yep.
Nuge was out.
That's 4 of their best players.
Yes.
You cannot.
I think McDavid was hurt for a couple games too.
I think so. I remember telling him 8 of their top 4 scorers this season were defensemen.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense though, because when you have a power play that has 2 of the best, two of the top 5 players in the league,
right?
And you just,
it was just obviously McDavid, Draisaitl were 1, 2.
Yeah, right.
And then it was
probably Bouchard.
Ekholm.
Really?
Yes. Ekholm, I think, led their Bouchard and then Ekholm.
Yeah.
And then it was Wallman, Nurse, and Jeff Skinner and Zach Hyman.
Wow.
Those were their top 8 scorers.
Shaq Hyman.
Yeah. And I think Hyman had 53 points and Skinner had 40.
How tall is Nurse? Is he the
4'2"?
Or is he a short guy?
No.
Nurse.
No.
He's like a monster, right?
He's probably 6'4".
Is he bald too? Am I thinking
he is bald.
guy?
He is bald.
Yeah, he's kind of intimidating.
Not really.
Oh my gosh.
Look at his
I don't
face.
think
He's
so.
full bald now. He looks like pot of greed.
I cast Darnell Nurse.
6'4". Wow.
6'4", yeah.
Same height as John Wall.
I meant to put Oilers nurse, and it went older nurse. So it's just old women.
That's a good stock. That's him right there. That's a good stock image. Shout out to Shutterstock for sponsoring our.
Dude,
your show.
our label maker at work has been, the name has been Shutterfly. Isn't that like a picture?
That's the you order the photo books, like albums. They make them for you. You send in your photos.
Yeah, I don't know who named the label maker thing that.
Every
but
white woman over the age of 40 is Shutterfly's customer.
There's
base.
no one that works there
right
that's
then.
over the age of 40.
I'd hope not.
Is
Right?
that true?
At Culver's?
Over 40? I don't know.
We had a
I don't
gambling
think so.
line on this.
Yeah, what's the line?
Plus 500. No one under 40. Over 40 works at Culver's.
All right, that's it. That's it for the Western Conference so far. Eastern Conference, Toronto beats Ottawa in 6.
Ugh.
That's
They almost sold.
I know.
That was
Ottawa had the
hilarious.
chance to do something really funny there.
They're going to be so good, though. Ottawa, give them 3 years. I think they're top of the... Because the Capitals... I mean, sorry to jump ahead.
No, go
Capitals
ahead.
runs over. This is it. I know Ovi said I'm not retiring. If they win the Cup this year, which they were my pick.
To win it all?
They were my pick to win it all. If the Caps win the Cup, Ovi's going to retire. I know he said he's not. That's the ultimate way to go out. You already got the record.
You got the goals.
You got the record no one's going to touch.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the opportunity to do something that not many people can do, which is bring a second cup to a city you've played with your entire career.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Crosby are still like there and there. That probably changes the...
I don't know. I'd say it's close because
it's super close.
Crosby's never finished a season under point per game.
Which is insane still.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then
With how much
he's
he's
got
been hurt,
four cups?
3.
3?
Or wait. Did
I
they
thought he
get-
won 2 earlier
Did they
before they two-peated.
did they get the one was because Fleury has 3 cups with
Oh, that's right.
with Pittsburgh. And
But Fleury was after Crosby.
right.
They might have won Crosby's rookie year.
Did they get one with Matt Murray starting? Was Fleury on
Yes.
that team when Matt Murray was there? 'Cause
Yes,
he might
Fleury
have,
was the backup, I think. At
well,
that
then I
point.
think he has 3.
Okay.
I think he has 3. But either way, Ottawa, their window is now open. If they go spend money,
100%.
their window's open. They got a really
Giroux's
good,
probably out, but if they can replace him with someone, they're
there'll
looking
be
good.
there'll be guys. There'll be guys. But
I believe Marner is a free agent, isn't he?
that'd be crazy.
That would be
You
wild.
go steal Mitch Marner.
Who knows?
What do you think about the Sens, Rob? Are you a Sens guy?
They're a team that like I didn't follow hockey for like the longest time,
Yeah.
and like I didn't start paying attention to like really last year, like this year. So I don't know much. And Senators are like one of those teams that like I didn't even know existed, because like they've been butt for so long, and even like
That is true.
a new hockey fan like me, I know the Red Wings because they were dominant,
Mhm.
like in the 90s, right? But I don't think there's ever been dominance in Ottawa. So it's like that name never really floated around.
Their best
So-
run that we've been hockey fans, because I was like 2010 was when I started to follow, and you were like 14, 15.
Mhm.
They had a really good team in like 16 through 18 when Eric Carlson was there.
Mike Hoffman.
He almost single-handedly
Mark
took him to
Stone.
the Cup final.
Yeah.
That was the year
when
Pitt
he played on his broken foot.
and Pitt won.
Yeah,
They
in
won that year.
overtime.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
when the Blackhawks were like dominant though? Like in the
It was
league?
like the
They were,
tail
like,
end.
that's
The tail end of Blackhawks, yeah.
Was like 15 they won? Or when did the Blackhawks win?
I do
13,
believe
14, somewhere around that year, right?
15 might have been the last Blackhawks or Kings won that year.
Here's a good question for both of you, because I would not have guessed this. Who was Ottawa's leading scorer
This year?
this year?
Josh Norris.
I don't know.
Is this just forwards? No. Tim Stutzla.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Who's
been
that guy? Is he
really
like
breaking out.
Is he like a young star coming up?
He's
He's been in the league for a minute now. He
Oh,
got
really?
drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's more of a veteran.
He's like
He's younger than
Not been in the league
He's
for a
younger
while.
than me.
right.
Younger
He's like
than you.
20.
How old are you?
I turned 25 this year. He came.
Damn.
He's 23 or 24, yeah.
2021. 2020 was his first year. He came up at 19. He's 23. 79
yeah.
points. 24 goals, 55 assists.
Yeah,
Wait.
if they put him with the right guys.
I was walking into Busch Stadium today,
Uh-huh.
and you have to be
Oh, man, you
16
got
or
all the way down
older
there?
to get the bobblehead,
Yeah.
and I walk in. And the woman who's handing out the bobbleheads asked me if I was 16,
What?
and I was like, I'm 21.
Yeah, I was like, I thought you were.
And then she laughed at me, and I was like, that's not funny.
That's nuts. Why? Where is Norris on here?
Norris might have been hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Joshua Norris. 33 points.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Shabbat was their leading D man.
Mm.
They didn't score as much as I thought they did. Only having one guy, no 1 point per game.
I think they had a negative goal differential, if I'm correct.
Well, Kachuk only had 55 points, which
Ooh,
but he played
that's
70.
down.
He played 72 games.
That's kind of a down year for him.
It was like 20, 25, 24, and 23. I
I think
think.
you expect him to score at least.
He needs to score
close
30.
to point per
when
game.
when he can score 30 goals, that's when I think they're
Yeah.
legit. Because him
They're
and
close, though.
Batherson are.
Yeah, Batherson needs
One.
to stay healthy too.
Yeah.
I don't like their logo.
We spent a lot
Really?
of time on Ottawa just now.
We did.
For our-
I like they just changed it recently. Look up their old one.
They had a nice one. Back in the day, they had some really cool jerseys.
They did. I've liked all of their logos so far. There it
Oh,
is.
yeah, I know this one.
That one's terrifying. The eyes
That
are
one is
the eyes are
terrifying.
just huge.
This one.
And then there's the one that's just like
I know this one.
The O.
it's the letter O. Yeah, that was like.
That's when they were good.
That's when they were good.
Yeah.
Now I like this
What in
one
the
so much
world
more
is
than
that?
this.
That's a
It almost
swastika.
Are
looks
those
like
feet?
a certain, almost looks like a certain
He already said it.
logo.
Yeah.
you'd see.
He
It's
just
a
said
swastika.
swastika.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna tiptoe around it, but
Oh no! I mean, we already mentioned Hitler on episode 1
Is this a
Did
swat?
we?
or 2, something like
That's
that.
kind of nuts. You got what? 5 episodes now. You've mentioned
this is
you mentioned the Nazis now
Epi
3
5,
times.
yeah.
Holy.
All right, let's move on. That's a point for me and Rob. We both predicted Toronto. Rob got this next one. Florida beats Tampa in 5.
Did you have?
I had Tampa in 7.
Okay, so you really?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be close.
I picked Clippers
Kucherov
because
had-
they won last year. So I just
Right.
figure like they're a hot team. They have playoff experience. That like for me was a somewhat easy pick.
Yeah.
Even
That's
though
valid.
the Lightning have had good runs like 21, 22, or is it 22, 23? I don't know. They were
No, it was 20 and 21,
what? That's what it was. Okay,
Yeah.
I know they were recently.
and then
a
they
good
lost.
team.
They lost to the Avalanche the year after.
Yep, they got the.
So they
back-
could have three-peated.
They almost three-peated. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Maroon was still on that team, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. And Corey Perry was on that one too. He lost.
The worm.
I can't believe that he's lost the last 3 Stanley Cup Finals he's been to.
That's rough.
It's kind of good for him though, because like he sucks.
Man, Florida's another team that guys scored less than I thought they did, but their arguably two best players didn't play.
Yeah,
Because
but Sam Reinhart, well, when he got hurt, that was
Reinhart missed 3 games.
3.
He had
That's
81
it?
points.
Okay,
Scored
so then
39.
he just slowed down.
And then Kachuk and Barkov only played about 115 games combined.
Oh wow.
And they each scored 71 for Barkov, 57 for Kachuk. But when you
Wow.
have 51 assists in 67 games, as Barkov is pretty impressive.
Both Kachuk brothers, down years,
That Verhaeghe, I forget how long he's been there.
a couple years,
But
because he was
he's-
on Dallas before.
Yeah, he's really, really good.
Yeah, he really broke out with them.
And then Anton Lundell had a good year, 23 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be their future at C2.
God, what a wild team. The nose man, Tomas Nosek or whatever
Yes.
his name is. He's still there.
Did he win with Vegas? Was he there when they won? Wasn't he? Because
Had
he
to
was
be.
one of the original guys, I think, on Vegas.
He was in Vegas from 17 to 21, so no.
No, he didn't win.
He was in
Okay.
Boston and then New Jersey.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on.
What a
Rob
weird
is up
player.
3-2 now because he's got the Florida series. He's going to be up 4-2 after this one. Rob got Washington correct over Montreal.
You
in
picked
5.
Montreal?
I also took them in 7.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Err.
I thought that was going to be one of the best series because it was like a young, fast team with Montreal and then an older, slower, but like more physical team with Washington. I thought it was going to be a clash of 2 styles,
I get it.
and it just didn't. Montreal just got overpowered.
Why did you pick Washington? Because that's what I want to know.
They're a hot team going in. They were a high ranked team in the playoffs, and
Yep.
sometimes you kind of just gotta like understand that like a better team in the regular season is gonna win. So
That's fair.
sometimes just like think simple.
Yeah.
True.
Like my Wild pick over the Knights. I don't like the Knights, and I like the Wild, and that's why I picked the Wild.
Yeah, but you're
those lose me
completely
those.
contradicting what you just said about the
Yeah.
better team in the regular
Well,
season.
when my feelings get in the way, I've
Yeah.
lost every single
I get
one.
it.
When I use
Sure.
like kind of like a little bit of sports knowledge, I
I had
Get
them
it
winning
right.
the cup not because of the President's Trophy. I want to put that out there for the fans. They're gonna think I'm a.
Magic
I'm
Round.
not-
That's not what you
they're gonna
told
think
me.
they're gonna think I'm a donkey. No, it's a vibes team.
Yeah.
When you have a guy who when something like that happens during the regular season, it's hard to lose.
Yeah, and if you look at it, most of their guys are pretty new to the team.
Yep.
Dubois traded for this year for Kemper.
Yep.
Chikrin was, I believe, this year or last year they traded for him. Logan Thompson traded for this year or signed him or whatever they did in the offseason to get him. And then McMichael's like a third-year player.
Yeah, Connor McMichael's really young.
What's that guy's name? Alexi something. The big dude.
I couldn't tell you.
He's a third-year player, I believe. And they signed him to a cheap deal. He's there for like 6 more years on a really cheap deal.
God, this Hurricanes roster is so.
Protus, Alexi Protus.
Okay. What a weird roster.
Yeah, it's an interesting looking roster. One of the things I told him was that their top 6, 5 of them are 6'2" or taller.
So like my height.
Yeah. Rob's 6'10".
Yeah.
without shoes.
On a bad day.
Yeah. First openly 6'10" podcast.
What are you gonna say, Rob? Looks like you had something up your sleeve.
That's
You're looking at me.
so I got my predictions for like the next series, but I don't think we're doing that.
I mean, we can say them, but let's finish the first ones.
Yeah.
Because we finally have Carolina over New Jersey. I got that one right.
I got
You
that
took
wrong.
New Jersey because you thought Jack Hughes was still alive.
He's dead. From what you and you let me pick them without telling me about the injury too.
No, I told you after you told me who you picked.
You should have told me prior.
I didn't know
That
you were
their
going to
star
pick New
was
Jersey.
out.
I didn't know you were going to pick New Jersey. Am I supposed to read your mind?
You know Glass Bones and Paper Skin from SpongeBob?
Yeah.
That's the Devils' new mascot next year.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of the NJ Devil.
The only guy that doesn't get hurt on that team is Jesper Bratt. He's the only guy.
There's Paul
You know,
Bistonette.
Stefan Nosen scored like 20-something goals on the 4th
I don't know
line.
who that is.
Exactly. Look him up.
Stefan Nosen on the Devils?
Yeah. He was. I think they signed him this year.
Stefan.
And previously he'd just been F with an F. And it's Noes. There you go. That's
Oh,
it.
it was with an F. Okay. Let's check this guy out. Right
He's
wing.
31, 22 goals in 78 games.
Yeah, that's a 4th liner right there.
Oh, he's played for like 400 teams, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's also bald.
Anaheim, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, San Jose, Toronto, Carolina, New Jersey.
Yeah,
guy has
he's been
found-
passed around. It's crazy that he scored that many goals.
He turned into a player for no reason 2 years ago.
Right.
He had 36 points, 37 points, 41 points. Before that, his highest point total was 27 when he was 24 years old. So he literally did nothing from age 25 to age 29.
Yep.
And then just woke
Popped
up one
off,
day and decided
yeah.
to score.
Devils lost 4-1 in the series. That's rough.
Yes.
And also losing in double.
I thought it was going to be a
overtime.
sweep.
That's
That-
ugly.
The only
it might as well
game
be
they
a-
won was in overtime.
It might as well have been a sweep.
Yeah.
It's one of those where it's a gentleman's sweep. You just kind of like. What was the one game at home that they won?
It must have been because it was like game 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were down 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Higher seeded teams
Oh no, it was game 3. It was 2-1.
did every higher seeded were the Kings seeded higher than the Oilers?
Yes, I believe the Kings were
So were they the only
higher seed.
higher seed to lose in the first round?
Yes.
So far.
so far.
Because
But that makes sense because they've lost like every single year for like the past 4
Yeah.
years.
and
This makes it 4.
we had this discussion last night about the seeding in the playoffs and how it's awful.
Yeah.
Having Colorado and Dallas go in the first round is brutal.
They
That
should go back
stinks.
to the 1 through 8 in general, not the conference.
1
seeding.
through 8's perfect
Yeah.
because then you just get you get an 8 seed. Like St. Louis won as an 8 seed like 2010 or 2012.
Mhm.
And they lost to the Kings as an 8 seed.
Yeah, the Kings owned us.
No,
for a
sorry, that
while.
was the year the Kings won. I misspoke. 2012, the Kings, I think, won as an 8 seed against us. And that's when they went on to win the cup.
So now we're back to the Blues and Jets, right? 'Cause that's
Actually,
the
we're
last
gonna
one.
we're gonna touch on Dallas, Colorado first. So
Ooh,
they're
they
playing
play
tonight. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So they're game 7 tonight, May 3rd. I've got some notable stats from both teams here.
They're in Dallas, right? Dallas was the higher seed?
Yes, Dallas is the higher seed. So, for Colorado, Nathan McKinnon is leading the team with 10 points. That's second most in the playoffs, behind McDavid. He's got 11. Nathan McKinnon has 6 goals, 4 assists. And then their next leading scorers are Logan O'Connor, Marty Necas, and Cale Makar, all tied with 5 points.
So no one's scoring for them.
Right. So they need to get some depth scoring. Makar needs to score.
Badly.
I mean...
Yeah, he was, like, touted as the second coming of, Scott Niedermayer, Quinn Hughes and him are in the same boat. Quinn Hughes, I think, is better this year. But,
Makar's still going to get the Norris.
Yeah, you need a guy. Yeah, right. Scott Niedermayer is my go-to with, puck-moving defensemen who win in the playoffs because he, carried that Ducks team. Mm-hmm. Him and Pronger were paired. But... yeah, they got to find a way to get guys to score. You're not going to go... even if they win tonight, you're not going to go anywhere. I would... if they win tonight, I would love to play Colorado.
Yeah,
because
I
they
would
can't
too.
score right now.
Yeah.
And we can. We're getting... but we'll save that for...
Yeah. I'll give it to...
Can't win away.
True.
Don't worry about
but we
that.
will tomorrow.
We'll figure it out, Rob.
I'm scared, dude. I'm not going to lie.
We'll get to that. I'll hand
See
it
what
to...
ChatGPT says about the Dallas-Colorado game.
Okay, let's see. What do they say? Searching the web? Go ahead.
Hypothetical.
Had to specify hypothetical.
They have Colorado winning.
4-3 in
overtime.
Why? Because of the Cale Makar factor.
Wow. Okay, I like it.
I don't, because then you get a point.
Who's starting for Colorado?
Because I have Dallas winning
Goalie?
this.
Yeah.
A Blackwood.
They have Grigoriev listed as the starter.
Okay, that is wrong. He's not on the team.
Yep.
They have both Woods, Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie Blackwood.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
Song.
Blackwood's stats. He's looking at a 2.65 goals against and an 8.99 save percentage.
That's not good.
No, it's not. But we're going to hear some more goaltending stats that don't sound good either. In terms of points for Dallas, we're looking at Mikko Rantanen, the former Avalanche, leading them with 8 points. He's got 2 goals, 6 assists. Rope Hintz leads them in goals with 4. He's got 3 assists. And Wyatt Johnston has 2 goals, 4 assists.
That trade makes no sense to me still in retrospect. What are you doing if you're... it was probably a money thing.
The Stankoven thing?
The trade with moving Rantanen.
Oh, from Colorado?
Yeah.
I think he wasn't guaranteed to re-sign. I'm pretty sure that they weren't going to get the same number, is what it was. Because I think he wants around 14 mil, and I think what Colorado wanted to give him was 12.
Did Dallas give him a deal yet?
No.
Okay. I get it from that perspective. He's a top 15 player, if not
100%.
higher, in hockey.
And I think...
And they got rid of him.
And they get rid of him.
Yeah. And Carolina did the same thing because they weren't going to re-sign him after also hearing the asking price. And I think what they got in return was roughly the same that Colorado got. Because if you give up Necas for Rantanen, plus they gave him a first-round pick, I think, too.
Yep.
And then you get back Logan Stankoven, who's 24, 23. He's still got plenty of room to grow.
Yep.
And you get 2 first-round picks back from Dallas. It looks good.
Everybody else is looking good, but
Yeah.
if Dallas wins this series and they go on a run, it's I think Colorado scratches their... Well, like we said, when you have only 4 guys who have 5 or more points on your team so far, you're like, what? And then Rantanen is leading the other team in scoring. Where's your...
Sure.
You need the goals.
Yep, you do. And, I mean, Necas was supposed to be that because...
Yep.
I don't know if you knew this, but the top 3 skaters in the league, in terms of speed, are McKinnon, McDavid, and Necas.
Yeah.
So pairing 2 of the top 3 guys in terms of speed should net you plenty of goals because your top 2 guys are 2 of the quickest guys in the league.
You'd think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'd think so.
But Dallas is shutting them down pretty well. So I don't know. We'll see. I still have Colorado.
I still have Dallas. I believe in my guys. When I used to play Chell,
Yeah, that's right.
I would play the Blues, the Stars, and the Jets.
And you played the Sharks.
I did play
If
the
you
Sharks.
Big central guy.
Yeah. That
I
was
guess when I
interesting because we
played
would
it-
do the tournament as the Stanley Cup, so you had to always play 2 Eastern Conference teams too.
Yeah.
When did we play that? Because I think that's when the Sharks were decent. They were in
Yeah,
the
they still
playoffs in
had-
17. I think the last time they were in the playoffs was 17.
19.
19? It was 19?
They played us.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
They played
We
us in
probably-
the conference final.
I remember that. Do you remember the hand pass?
Mhm.
The
Of course,
controversial-
vividly.
Everyone
Dude,
remembers
that
the
was
hand pass,
crazy.
Yeah.
Vividly.
No, whenever you played them, they still had Couture and Pavelski, Marlowe,
Brent Burns.
Burns. Yep.
They had
Couldn't
had
tell
the
you who
whole
their-
Vlasic
bar.
was healthy.
Pickle, man. I couldn't tell you who their goalie was, though.
Martin Jones. Hated that guy.
Wow.
Hated that
normal
guy.
normal name.
Yep.
Most normal name of all time. I love it though.
Not a hockey name.
Dude, one of my favorite normal goalie names is Steve Mason, and he was so good
Ricky
for a while.
Calder. He won the Calder, didn't he?
I think so.
With
yeah.
Philadelphia.
With Philly.
And then was like bad.
Yep.
He's just like a guy.
Yep.
Love to see it.
Anyway, here's why Dallas is going to lose. Jake Ottinger. He's looking at 299 goals against, which is worse than Blackwood. He has a better save percentage at 909, but that just means that he's facing more he's facing more shots.
Mm-hmm.
So if Colorado continues to outshoot them, that's how they're going to win. I mean, eventually some of them are going to fall in, and maybe you get some from the depth.
Did you see how Dallas lost the other game with like a puck hitting a player and bouncing their own net?
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah.
That's happened twice in our series.
Which, that's the stats there with the goalies are weird with Colorado because it's obvious that Ottinger's letting in goals, but then it's like who's scoring on him. So it's just a random
Sure.
like third, fourth liner just getting a goal in there every
Yeah.
game, which is good, but like you need a guy.
It's also such a small sample size.
You need a second guy to get some points on the board. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
with
6
6 games.
It's been 6 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's pretty.
Your stats are always going to be pretty skewed.
Considering we've got 6 games in there, 5 points for those guys isn't bad. 10
Sure.
points is really impressive, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
10
it's a
points just
battle.
means you're on a run. But even like
Yeah.
5 is pretty good. If you're close to a point per game,
Oh, it's really good.
you're looking pretty good. But still, Dallas has more guys that are over.
That's a tough one to predict.
Yeah.
I want Colorado to win because I think we have a better chance against them.
Mhm.
I think Dallas will win. I think Dallas will win, and it's going to be an interesting round 2.
All right. Well, we're going to see tonight. And by the time I edit this video, there's going to be a graphic on one of us winning.
That's true.
In all kinds of room. He scores! Mikko Rantanen here in the third period. Rantanen again. Rantanen scores! Lead down low. Johnston scores! Wyatt Johnston! Sagan got it out. Rantanen again! Unbelievable!
Is it tied? What's the score?
No, so you have 4 correct and I have 3 correct. So
Okay.
if you win either Dallas or Winnipeg, then you outright win the predictions. But if Colorado, St. Louis win, both of them, then I win.
Wow.
But if you just get one of either, then you win.
That's close.
That's a clinching
It is.
scenario. That's a lot on the line. Wow.
Yeah. And we're not playing for
And
anything.
how do I factor into this? I don't. If anybody at home was wondering.
All right, let's move on to St. Louis, Winnipeg. This is the series we're probably going to talk the most about. Cam Fowler, at 10 points, leads not only the Blues, but also defensemen in scoring in the playoffs.
That's insane.
He's got 2 goals and 8 assists. The only person who's above him in scoring, like I said earlier, is McDavid.
And he's a beast.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I think most people in St. Louis did not like the Fowler signing when it first happened.
Trade.
Or yeah,
I thought it
trade.
was fine.
I don't think so.
We went to his first
It
game.
was either you or Noah that said they didn't like it. I think it was you.
It may have been, like, I might have been a little bit more
Skeptical,
undecided
maybe?
at
I
that
don't
time because we still had Scott Perunovich, and I like Tyler Tucker, and I like,
know. Tucker's been good.
yeah, who's that other kid? Matthew Kessel. I like Matthew Kessel.
Yep.
And when we traded for a 33-year-old defenseman with another year left, I thought, wow, this is just blocking these young guys that we have.
And then
Yeah.
he came in and he outscored Parayko. He led the team in D scoring.
He did. 31 points, I think.
36 and 51 games with us.
With us, right. And,
And
he
then, total 41.
Okay.
64, Parayko, 64 games, 36 points. But again, I don't want to talk about him.
Also, if he probably would have outscored if he would have played all those games.
Yeah, 82 with us, or
Yeah.
80 with us. I liked the Fowler move. The first game I watched him play was that Winter Classic game, and I believe he scored once,
I think
once
he
or
did in the Winter
twice.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's been a puck-moving defenseman on a really bad Anaheim team for a lot of his career. There were some years where he was on playoff teams, but he was one that, like, every year was like, are they going to move Cam fast? He did. I
Right.
think he bounced around a little bit.
No,
Or
Duck
was
is
it
tired.
really just the Ducks the
Yeah.
whole
Yep.
time?
So
I
his,
don't know
best,
that
his
because-
best season, I think,
Yeah.
was 2 years ago. 3 years, or yeah, it was
48 points
48
there?
points, yeah. So it's interesting that he's almost gotten better with age, even though people are saying, he's washed.
Yeah.
He's just been on such a horrible team that, like, eventually, morale gets to you.
A lot of his points were power play points.
Environment's
always, though.
very important. If you got like, especially because the Blues were like steamrolling after the Four Nations.
Four
Nations,
Yeah, it was just unstoppable. I
mean,
want
just-
to add that ChatGPT has the Jets winning.
Really?
They said Connor Hellenbuck is a brick wall. Lies. Size and physicality. We have more hits than the Jets do in the series.
We're also bigger, I think.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Except for...
ChatGPT knows nothing, bro. I'm sorry.
Well,
Except for-
generative
Shifley
AI
is good though.
iffy.
Connor is good. I agree with that. Connor's.
They have Hellebuck making 32 saves. Yeah, I don't think he...
I don't think so. I think he'll get 20.
Eric Comrie.
Yeah. So, okay, let's
let's
finish up the Blues talk first.
keep her going.
Robert Thomas is our second leading scorer with 8 points. He's got 2 goals, 6 assists. And then Booch has 7 points. He's got 3 goals, 4 assists. Do you know who else is tied with Booch in the goals lead with 3?
for the
Blues.
playoffs.
Is it Snuggerud?
Nope.
That would be my guess.
He has 2, I think. He has 2
2.
goals.
He has 3 goals.
Is it Fowler or like Kyrie?
Nope. It's the first openly Australian 4'2" NHLer, Nathan Walker. Our fourth liner. He's got 3 goals.
That's insane.
That's tied for our team lead.
He's actually 5'9", which I thought he was a lot shorter than that.
5'9" is not bad. Yeah, but we kept calling him 4'2" last night.
Yep. He'd get shorter every time we brought him up. We were watching Game 6.
Every time he scores a goal, he gets shorter.
I'm his same height. So if you're calling him short, then I'm short. And he's wearing skates, so he looks taller too.
Oh, so you're not 6'10". You're 5'9".
On bad days.
Okay. Another thing to note: Jordan Binnington. He's got a 2.54 goals against and an 8.97 save percentage. Does not look great on paper, but if you've watched him play, he's got 2 games in Winnipeg where he's let up 5 goals, and
Well,
one of them was an empty netter, so
yeah.
4 goals.
Yeah.
And then a couple of them have bounced off of our guys.
Yep.
And gone into the net. Snuggerud had that happen. Falk, I think, or Parayko had that happen in the last game.
Yeah.
So not all of them by far are his fault.
Do you know the worst part? That Snuggerud, that he got scored on himself. We lost that game 2-1.
Yeah.
And he scored the goal.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
1 goal for ours.
So
yeah.
He scored 2 goals that game. Right?
if that
Yeah, he
doesn't if
did.
that doesn't go in off of him,
It's a
tied game
potentially
going
different
into
story.
overtime.
Maybe we win in 6.
Yep.
That's
I'm the biggest. I hate Binnington.
Really?
We talk about that. You've known that a little bit
You
at
know
the
what?
beginning.
I knew that you were a not fond of him.
If you
but I
looked
didn't
back
know.
in the group chat with me and Nick,
Mhm.
I was begging for us to trade him before. This was prior to Four Nations, prior to the run. I had said this is the most valuable he'll be for. Or no, I said after Four Nations. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
said trade him. This is the most valuable he'll be in his whole career, moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think prior was more valuable. I'm glad he's been a great goalie in his career. I just don't like him. I think he's so.
Personality?
His personality's fine. I like the intensity. I just think he's bad. I think he's only good when it matters the most, and we've been a team that, like, we can't artificially make it matter.
Sure.
But
Is that not when you want him to be the best? Is what I'm.
I know, it
Well, of
is.
course, but
It
you want him
is,
to be
but
good
He's got to
the
get
rest
us.
of the
He's
time,
got to
too.
get us there. You know what I mean? And he'll let in goals that, like, I could lay there like this in the crease and probably catch it. He just lets in some soft.
All right,
Bring back Allen as our starter.
okay, I was about to ask.
Back up Binnington. and
No.
then whatever's
Listen.
important.
Would you rather have Jake Allen in his prime or Jordan Binnington in his prime?
Jordan Binnington, no question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silly.
I think the reason why I said trade him after Four Nations, the value was there. Like, we're talking potentially first round draft pick value.
Sure.
If you would have call any playoff team, hey, you want him? They'd be like, yeah.
I mean, shoot, the
Especially-
Oilers probably would.
I was gonna say, especially a Canadian team, they would have taken him. I think Hofer is legit too. I don't think
Me too.
we'll see Hofer in the playoffs at all, unless Binnington lets up like 8 in the first period or something, which is totally possible.
So next year is Binnington's last year, right?
It's next year. Yeah, I thought it was this year at first, but I think you're right about that.
So I think next year we're going to see more of a tandem.
Yep.
Where they both split like 41 games.
Yep.
I
That
think
makes
Hofer
sense.
needs to get more time now, kind of like what they did with Swayman Olmark.
Yes. Yeah.
And that way, by the time Binnington's out, then Hofer's ready. And I also could see a situation where the Blues re-sign Binnington at a cheaper rate to be our backup.
I just don't know if he. I don't know if he takes that though, as knowing
Right.
who he is off the ice, and on the ice, like the intensity he plays with and the type of guy he is. I think he knows his worth, and I think he would much rather. I bet you he goes and signs the same deal he signed with us, a 6x6. He'll go to whoever wants a goalie, a proven winner.
Let's say Minnesota wants
Yeah,
him, right?
they'll give him a 6x6 all day. He'd take it too. I don't blame him. You're setting
Yeah.
yourself up. Make your money when you can. $36 million is a lot of money. He'll be fine for life. Get that twice, and he has a cup.
That is very nice.
He's a folk hero in St. Louis forever,
Sure.
regardless of what people. And I hate him, and I always will, just because I watched him.
You think he looks nervous?
No, there was a 3-year. Well, the past, I guess 15 years of my life now, I've watched the majority of Blues games. I've seen a lot of terrible things, and he's not top 5 on most terrible things I've seen, but he's close.
You know who I think that had the best goaltending stretch out of any of our goaltenders in the last 15 years was?
Who?
Maybe 10 years. Carter Hutton. I think Carter Hutton as our backup
It
was
was so nasty.
so good.
Yaroslav Halak had a little bit of a run too.
He did. But
Carter
dude,
Hutton was so good.
if you go back watch a New Jersey and Blues game, Marcus Johansson when he was still in the Devils, it was overtime. He had wide open net, and Carter Hutton pulled the pad stack, and he kept it out,
remember
and
this.
we scored and won the game.
He would do stuff like that, man. What a guy.
Crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
where we at?
We gotta talk about the peg now.
Yeah, the Jets. So Kyle Connor's our leading scorer with 9 points. He's got 4 goals and 5 assists.
It's my jab
Behind
impression.
that is Mark Scheifele and Mason Appleton with 6 points. Scheifele's out.
Really?
He didn't travel to St. Louis. I don't know for sure if he's playing tomorrow or not.
I think they'll kill Mason Appleton in public if they lose this series.
Why would he
I
not?
think so.
Why
Did
would
you
he not
see-
play? Is he like injured or something, or what's up with that?
Yeah, so you remember game 5,
Injured.
he got hit pretty hard
Who hit
by
him?
Shen and then by Foxa.
Foxa?
Let's go, Shen.
And Foxa.
That's why I got it.
Foxa is the one who really
Who
did
hurt
it
him?
in.
Because he played
Oh.
6 minutes after being hit by Shen. There was the Shen penalty, which I think was soft, but I always think penalties are soft. Because again, I watched hockey in hockey used to be crazier, but even 2010 hockey, you could kill people on the ice and get away with it. You can't do that anymore. But yeah, he took that first hit, played 6 minutes, and then Foxa got him, and then he left the game and was wham, wham, wham. I hate Mark Scheifele.
I don't wish injury on anyone, but like that's kind of nice.
That's when you're playing somebody in the playoffs. It's like, oh no, they
and
got
they
hurt.
lose, and they lose like their top guy,
Yeah,
their best player probably.
right.
Well, Kyle Connor.
Also, what's his name? Vlad Domestikov got hurt
Yeah.
last night, and he was their like second line center.
He is
who
a
had to
playoff.
step up.
He's a
to
playoff
first.
guy.
He is.
He was so good on those Colorado teams.
He's got that
In
dog in
Tampa.
him.
Yep, and yeah, Vlad Domestikov was nuts.
Anyway, so moving on from their scores, we've got a goaltending issue. here. So let's take a look at these numbers. Connor Hellebuck, of course, the Vezina winning trophy, started every single game this series for the Jets.
Hart Trophy favorite.
Hart
by the way.
Trophy
not even
favorite.
finalist.
And
But
you've
the
got
favorite.
Draisaitl, him, and who? Don't know. Anyway, Connor Hellebuck has a 4.42 goals against average and a .815 save percentage. That's horrific.
He's been pulled what 3 times in this
3
series?
times now, all
He's
at home,
reverse-
or all in St. Louis.
He's
That's-
reverse Binnington right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
You've got a guy who is a world beater in the regular season. Will be a Hall of Famer. I'm gonna just put that out right. A guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Sure, just from accolades. Yeah.
Yep. And then every playoff, they put a graphic up last night. The first 3 years
Yes.
he was in the playoffs, he had like a
Like a 9.42.
nine.
It was crazy.
940 and like a 2-2 goals against. And since then, it's been above 3 goals against, below 900 save.
Yep. Last year was. Do you know what last year was?
Was it
It
like
was like 5.56
Yeah.
goals against. That's crazy. And I think they got
But how does
Okay.
he perform in Winnipeg? Because he
Great. So that's the thing is that he plays a lot better in Winnipeg.
first game he let up 3, and then second game was 1, and then he let up game 5 was like 2 or 3 or
Three.
something
Three.
like that. 3.
Yep, 3.
But that's all. I mean, really,
Those numbers still aren't
all
good.
you need is 3 goals
If
to
you
win.
score 3 goals, if you score 3 goals and lose, something else went wrong,
Yes, 100%.
especially in the postseason.
Yeah, that means you got outplayed.
Right.
Here's the issue though. Eric Comrie looks a lot better in his limited time. He has a 1.40 goals against and a .923 save percentage. I have it written as 9.23. That's not correct. That means he would be negative goals on him. Eric Comrie has played really well in his time.
He outperforms his regular season numbers significantly in the
Imagine they
postseason.
start him.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
I don't think you do.
But that shows like you don't have confidence in your main guy,
Exactly.
and that is like a touchy subject. You don't want to.
You're Vezina winner.
If you would have, the time to start Comrie was Game 6.
Mm-hmm.
Last night was the time to start Comrie, and kudos to Winnipeg's coach for not. You rolled with your guy. You got demolished, but you stuck with your guy. You can't make the decision here. A game says a goaltender switch for the first time in a series in Game 7 is a death sentence. If they bring out Comrie, I don't think they win.
That's just not going to sit right with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
I agree. I think if I'm Scott Arniel, I'm not switching it simply because I think the Winnipeg faithful would hate it,
Yeah.
and
They'd be mad at their coach.
Connor Hellebuck would probably be, his confidence would be really shot.
No, you're done.
Yeah.
You don't. It's tough to come back from that.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in Winnipeg too with like their attendance and like the owner coming out being like, you guys need to buy more tickets and stuff and such. And I think people are showing up to games in the regular season because Hellebuck, got extended and stuff.
Right.
You do this, he's maybe not going to want to stay. And then fans don't show up and they're going to relocate or something. Hypothetical.
I don't think they'll relocate.
There's some. I mean, they're not going to relocate. I don't think
They
so.
grinded
But
too hard to stay
there's
Right. They've already been relocated once.
Yeah.
And then when Atlanta got moved there,
there. They came right back.
yeah, it won't happen again. I don't think so. Winnipeg's too, they're too much of a staple.
They're an iconic franchise. I would say they're an iconic.
they're
franchise.
iconic, but so is the Oakland Athletics, and look what happened to them.
Yeah, okay.
And, like,
yeah,
listen,
that's true.
You know what?
they have 9 World Series titles.
Bad ownership. Could
Maybe,
do,
I'm biased because I'm an Oakland
no.
fan.
Bad ownership could do anything. I think that's a good point, Rob. That's
Thank you.
That's
That's
a
my
good
first good point. 6
First good point
episodes in.
really?
5 episodes?
Wow.
5? 6.
Idiot. Can't count. Now you're berating you again because you're stupid.
There it goes. That lasted 4 seconds.
Yeah. All right, so we're starting Connor Hellebuck.
Yes.
Makes sense.
That is the only choice in my opinion, which I've thrown
No,
out some
that-
crazy takes.
That makes sense.
No, I agree.
I
though.
might get some hate in the I hope so.
No, I agree. I think it's.
I
think
got
it's
plenty,
the
so we can share
smartest.
some.
I think it's the smartest choice. Yeah, Rob got ripped on.
Dude,
That's what
people,
you were-
people are
take.
ripping on me, but that's all right.
Chicken jockey.
That's what happens when you put yourself on the internet.
Yeah, I
so,
mean,
Yeah.
you gotta roll with it.
yeah.
No, I mean, I agree with you though. Bad movie.
I'm not getting
Then we
Yeah,
gotta
everyone
back
else
into
does.
it. So tomorrow night, 7:00, Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's gonna be a bloodbath. I think I told you before the game yesterday we'd see a wholesale brawl. Didn't get that intense, but there were a couple chippy moments. Whoever scores first wins the game. It didn't happen last night. It hasn't happened a lot in the series. I think this is one where you get the first goal and then you just start piling on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's we have to crash the net like we did last night.
If I
Winnipeg
may,
has to.
If I may.
Yeah, I feel that this is a Game 7 in Boston situation.
Mm-hmm.
That we win
really?
4-1.
Really?
Something like that.
Just stomp
'Cause-
on them?
Yeah. So what you said earlier is that you did not feel very confident. I did not feel confident in Game 5. Like you ever like when you are watching sports, do you ever get like butterflies as in like you get nervous for your team?
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly how I felt in Game 5. Last night, maybe because we were having a couple drinks, but I did not feel that at all.
As soon as that horse showed up, dude, there was a dog, Rob. It had to have been 5 feet long.
It was insane.
And it had enough hair.
Is he like a weenie?
No. You could have made a coat out of this dog's hair. It looked like a
You could have
dire
made a rug.
It looked like a dire wolf.
It did.
This was a monster. When the horse
They
showed
are
up, I
back.
was like Blues in 7.
Yeah, we called it the horse because it was that big, and big old water bowl for
It
it.
was just Josh's mom. I didn't want to say that because I respect your mom, but it was like on my tongue.
Don't worry, she won't watch.
Sorry, Josh's mom.
Your brother's gonna record that and send it to your mom.
He don't watch this. He's not gonna know I called him a gambling addict. Maybe I'll clip it and then he'll have to watch it.
Someone's watching this, so somebody's gonna hear this.
Oh shoot!
Whew.
The only family member of mine that you want to show up is Bailey. You want my dog to show up.
We'll bring Bailey up in a future episode. They don't gotta know what
Rob
happened
kisses
yet.
my dog.
No.
On the mouth.
Dude, Bailey's
I
gonna.
said we're waiting
we gotta
to
get,
drop that.
You guys gotta get Bailey on the pod.
Yeah.
The whole. Bailey, what do you think about the Jets Blues here? Instead of me, I'm basically doing the same thing. I'm just making noise, man.
You're just barking. All right. I believe that's all I have for
hockey.
hockey.
Hockey is over.
Stanley Cup playoffs are done.
The next time we film, there's gonna be some series over, right?
For sure.
Most likely, yeah. It'll be in 2 weeks.
The NHL
Dang.
playoffs does take like a total of like 45, 50 days. It's
Yeah.
so long. I love it, but
It's great.
It's so long.
And it's only gotten longer because of the switch to like when they change cities, they'll do
Right.
2 days in between.
Yeah, the 2 days rest a little wild, but I guess
They should go back to one.
The health. I mean, if it's a health decision, great.
Well, I mean, we've seen in the Jets Blue series that doesn't even matter. Shifley got hurt.
Yeah,
What's his name? DeMello got hurt after game 1.
it's definitely nice for the goalies. If you have a night where you get peppered, you face 30, 40 shots, you get 2 days to think about that.
Yeah.
Think about what you've
And
done.
if I'm Bennington, I'm going home and thinking like, man, there's this kid from St. Louis who hates me.
I'm cracking open a six pack of beer.
That's it.
If you're the goalie,
Yeah.
why not 12?
Which beer?
I don't know. This Bud's for you. He's from St. Louis.
Dilly dilly.
Budweiser. Huh? Dilly dilly?
Huh?
If
Not
Jordan's
again.
drinking Bud Heavies after a loss, then we have no chance. He's gonna gain 65 pounds
In one day.
Yeah. Homer Simpson.
All right, let's move on to a challenge that I have for you.
No, great.
Hey there, listener. Don't forget that you can find us at the Outside Scoop Podcast on both Instagram and TikTok. On Instagram, we post some pretty interactive content, so if you enjoy that, give it a follow, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. All right, back to the show. We're back with a little bit of a challenge here
For Rob or
for both of you. I need both of you to work together.
Let me scoot back
To work together.
Yeah, so no cheating, no using your...
No chat GPT, Rob.
Yeah,
No
that's right. No
ChatGPT.
chat GPT, no phones, nothing. So I need you guys to name me
Sure.
the Cardinals starting lineup on opening day for 2015.
Oh my goodness, dude.
I need every position, the pitcher, and then if you remember, if you can, how many wins did they have that season?
Should we just let's get 2 easy ones out of the way. Because there's
Oh, and you get 3
so-
strikes.
Oh wow,
There's
dude. That's tough.
there's like a 90% chance that the opening day battery is Wainwright and Molina, right? In 15?
Yes. Can we confirm an answer before
Yes,
we
before you
So-
actually
Here, let me
say
get
name
this
that
our
jumped in
answer.
my mind was
I'm gonna
like
open my
Matt
note.
Adams, but I don't even know if that's
Oh, when did we
he might be
lose?
in Washington.
No, when did we lose to? Speaking of, when did we lose
13.
to Washington in the NL? Where was our run? We
The
lost to
2019 was when we lost
about
to
19?
the Nationals.
When
we got
Soto?
swept.
Yeah.
No,
in
because in
19.
14, when does
14.
Tyler? When does what is his last name? It's not Higashioka, but it's another last name
Kyle?
like that. No, the guy who hit one into McCovey Cove to send the Giants to
Kurt
the World
Suzuki?
Series.
Oh, the Giants.
It's Tyler something, but
I don't remember. It was off
I
of
think
Waka,
that was
I
in
believe. Michael Waka.
That was in 2014. I believe it was 2014 or 16, and Matt Adams was on those teams.
We lost the World Series in 13. 14, the Giants did win the World Series.
Okay,
I
so
guess they
catcher,
might have moved on from us. Okay, so we're doing 15.
first
Okay,
base,
you're writing this down. Cool.
second base,
Second, Colton Wong, right?
third base.
Makes sense.
I almost said fourth base. Shortstop.
Past like 2019.
Do we need to name the outfilders to the
Yeah.
left, right, center? Can we just
well,
name
you
three
can
outfielders?
Three
name me 3
outfielders?
outfielders,
Okay.
and I'll tell you where they played.
My beautiful Peter Borges.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. And then pitcher. Okay, so can we?
So we're gonna go Molina and Wainwright.
Molina and Wainwright.
Wait, is this opening day?
Opening day.
Ooh.
Okay.
What if like?
Do we want to just lock in the whole lineup at the end? Will you tell us where the strikes are if we lock in a lineup?
I say we do it one at a time.
One by one.
Okay.
Okay, so Molina for catcher.
That's correct.
Okay, do you want to do Waino?
Do you want to try and get another lock first before we?
Waka is probably on that team.
That's potential. I'm trying to think about our middle infield. Who's playing where? 'Cause I have 3 names.
I have Colton Wong.
I have
starting.
I have Wong,
Okay.
Adams, and Carpenter. But I don't know who's
Yeah, so
playing.
Matt
Is
Carpenter on
Carpenter?
third.
Is that Carpenter's third base era? Was he?
I don't know.
Toe in
'Cause
the hot
he
corner.
did kind of switch on. He played second, third, and first.
Right.
Second and first a little bit, but
Oh my gosh, Matt Holliday's got to still be there, right? In 15, is he still there?
didn't he end his career with the Rockies?
No, I
He
think
went
it's
to
the
the
Yankees.
He went to the Yankees.
Oh, that's
he was
disgusting.
on the 13 World Series team though. Holiday was
Yeah.
100%, and he was good that year. Carlos Beltran was also on that team, but he's not there at 15.
Carlos Beltran is a Cardinals program reward this
Yes,
year.
he is. He's also the #1 reward.
Is Dexter Fowler too early? Would you
Yes.
say? Is
Oh
he
my
more like
gosh! But what's his
17,
name
18?
isn't though.
Jason
Jason
Hayward?
Hayward's here because he goes to the Cubs in 16. Can we
in?
lock in Jason Hayward in the
That's
outfield?
correct. Right
Let's
field,
go, Rob.
Right field,
Let's
Jason
go.
Hayward.
That was
Cool.
a snail we just did there.
Okay, so we got an
What a
outfielder.
pull, Jason Hayward.
Yeah, when you said Dexter Fowler, I knew Jason Hayward was coming
Was
next
coming.
because they're the
Because I knew-
same.
yeah.
Because he said, "Oh," and then my brain.
Dexter
just
Fowler
Like,
sucked so
Yeah.
bad. The worst switch hitter of all time.
They were both so hyped up when they were signed by the Cardinals, and they both sucked.
Well, Hayward left. He didn't
Correct,
sign.
yes.
We got him for like
we traded for him,
Yeah.
and then he left.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
But
he
when
left.
when we acquired, both
could
of
you
them-
imagine Jose Martinez maybe as an outfielder? Because there's no DH back then.
he was off the. I want to
Is
say
that
he
too
was off
early
the
too?
bench. No, that's not too early. That's exactly when
his
he's
era?
on. He's like the 15 through 19 Cardinals. That might be a bit early. He might be like 17.
Yeah,
'Cause
Do
he
you-
was-
Do you want to lock in Colton Wong? Or is that too?
I'm scared because Carpenter can play any of those. Besides shortstop, Carpenter played.
If we say Matt Carpenter, can you lock him in at third? And we just tell him, or do we have to get?
do we have to give you a
too?
position, or can we just
give me the
you-
position.
Dang
Aw,
it,
dude, that's
this is
so
tougher
rough.
than it should be.
Okay, who's the shortstop? What you think?
I have no idea because there's like it could be Jed Jerko, it could be Pete Cosma, it could
Jed
be
Jerko, dude. Oh my goodness.
Dude, how about 100 Jed
He could
Jerkos
be-
versus a gorilla?
dude?
Did you see me put that on my Instagram? Yeah.
50 Jed Jerkos is being a gorilla.
10.
10. One
That's
Jed
a little
Jerko.
ambitious.
Jed Jerko. He's throwing
Throwing rocks.
Jed Jerko did play third too.
Oh gosh, I don't know if he's a starter on opening day though. The year after you lose.
you know
in
where
the
Jed
NLDS
Jerko
or
ended his
CS.
career?
He started in San Diego.
Yes.
He bounces right.
Did he end in the National League?
Yep.
Which
Same division.
Oh,
Brewers.
Pirates?
Brewers.
Oh, really?
God, I'm
Yeah.
that guy. I'm an immaculate grid demon though. So, okay, you like Colt? I'll let you go ahead. Fire.
I'm not
the
confident
honors.
about Colton Wong.
You were though the whole time.
Second base, Colton Wong.
That's correct.
Come
Let's
on,
go!
Rob. Another
We're
snail.
gonna keep with the snail. Okay, I'm actually really hot with this jersey on. I should put my Cardinals jersey on, but
Take it off.
Okay, so we have Yadier Molina, Colton Wong, Jason Hayward, and Adam Wainwright. So we have 2 outfielders.
Are you locking Wainwright?
Oh, we know
Oh,
we don't.
shit.
Sorry, we don't have. I gotta erase that name. We got. Okay, do you want to try and knock out outfield or infield first? Because I have some outfield names that I like.
I think 15's like Steven Piscotty,
I would-
Borges. Do you want to do Steven
Steven
Piscotty?
Piscotty's one of my favorites. I think sneaky Matt Holliday, sneaky Randall Grichuk.
Oh
I don't
my
know-
goodness,
I don't know if
dude.
Grichuk is
He
starting.
smiled at Grichuk.
I don't know if
I like
Grichuk-
Grichuk.
I
He was one of my favorite players.
I don't know if Grichuk is starting though yet.
He went to the Blue Jays.
Oh my
after,
gosh,
right?
hold on, I
The
might
Blue
have our
Jays
We
and,
shortstop.
traded him to the Blue Jays.
Is it too early for a Ledmees Diaz at shortstop? Is that crazy? Do you remember him?
Diaz, dude. He was on the Astros at some point
Diaz was
too.
wild.
Was he not
Diaz-
nasty? He was an
might be
all-star.
He might be shortstop.
He was an all-star. It was either
Him and Paul DeYoung had the same pipeline.
Paul
They were
DeYoung came
both
up in
early
19.
all-stars, and then they just fell off.
But was it a
hard.
19 all-star for him or was it a 17? That
Paul
19
DeYoung was 19.
19's late for Ledmees Diaz.
Okay, do you want to do outfield? Do you want to do Piscotty?
Piscotty's got to be there. He's got to be there.
Steven Piscotty?
That is a strike.
Is Steven Piscotty on this team, though? On the bench? Do we know that?
I do not know. I did not look at the full roster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That makes sense.
I don't hate Borges. That's got to be
He could be left field.
We might have to save that one though. He does. Borges does not sound like for our franchise. Like he's not a marquee name on opening day.
For me, you, and Robbie is, but for
Bill Martinez, who lives in like South City and is just loaded at a Cardinals game. Who is Borges?
Yeah.
So we know Matt Carpenter. Do you want to guess third base? Because if we get third base, then we can limit the infield.
If we get our positions messed up, though, that would suck.
Because Matt Carpenter could start. No, he's not starting
He
second.
could be first. He could
Because
be
Colton
third.
Wong
Colton
was
Wong's
there.
there.
Shortstop.
I have Aledmys Diaz and Pete Kozma and Jed Jerko bouncing around in my brain right now, and it's making me mad.
Goodness gracious,
It's
that's a
making
good
me
one.
so mad. 2015 is so tough though, because like
that's why I chose it.
I was paying attention to the Cardinals, but I didn't care about baseball a ton until like 2018.
Dude, 2018 is when I started following too.
It's also in that era.
This
where
might
you
take
have,
us a while.
Where you have guys exactly like who you're mentioning that could be in the in the lineup.
Or guys who play like this is opening day lineup, so
Yeah.
this isn't by total games played or
Right.
anything like
This
that.
is a little bit like dead St. Louis too, because like 13 we came off the World Series, and then
14
slowly-
we lost in either the DS or the CS, and then 15 I think we make playoffs but don't do anything with it.
for what year? 15, you said?
Yeah, I think this year we make playoffs but don't do anything with it. Oh my gosh.
All right, so if you get to 3 strikes, if you can tell me how many wins they had, I'll give you another.
That's
Can
crazy.
we get like 5, like in between 5 games? So if we guess like hypothetically 90,
3 within 3 games.
dude, that's still crazy.
Okay. Who else is a lock? Who do we have that we know?
Matt Carpenter.
At first or third?
Let's do third.
Third base, Matt Carpenter.
That is correct.
Nice, Rob. Nice, Rob. Oh, high five that time.
That was more awkward, so I'm going back to the
It was quite awkward, yeah.
because his hands are like 10 times bigger than mine, so I didn't.
He's
know
got
where
Shaq hands.
I also have.
I really
baby
don't.
hands too.
Okay.
Can you palm a basketball?
Me?
Yeah,
Dude,
probably
you
not.
might be able to. Actually, your hands are pretty big.
Hey, if your hand is bigger than your face, you have cancer.
Dude, you just get... Good start. We got Molina, we got Wong, we got Carpenter, we got Hayward. No Piscotty makes me upset. Because he's...
Outfielders are
Randall
tough.
Grichuk is screaming at me, though. So is Matt Holliday still. Because Matt Holliday was, like, really... I looked at his base... I love Baseball Reference. I looked at my app, like, usage.
Mm-hmm.
Safari, like, last summer, I put, like, 7 hours a day on Safari. And it was just on
Dang.
Baseball
Baseball
Reference.
reference.
Yeah, I'd be sitting there grinding
That's
Baseball
nuts.
Reference. Literally just looking at numbers.
Dude, we should do like a wiki battle, but for
Please.
baseball
Let's
reference.
do that. We got to do that sometime
That'd be
soon.
so fun.
Okay.
Do you want to throw in?
Because Matt Holliday had two of his best seasons in his career were with us, and I think they were like 11, 12.
I don't know when he left. That's the issue. And I know he was gone for like
It's
5,
I
6,
think
7.
I want to say it's
maybe
17
5.
he leaves. Because I think he's
Look at me, Josh.
I think he's done in 2020.
So do you want to put first base? Matt
Adams? First base, Matt Adams.
That's correct.
Let's go. Snail.
Sick.
Big city.
Big
That's
city.
the first thing that came to my head when you said.
And
15.
I should have let you just have that one right
Do you know
away.
where?
But I'm
you know where
so
he ended
scared.
his career?
I'm gonna say
Miami Marlins.
Washington.
I thought it was Washington, but I just guessed.
Roll
I
the
was
tape
like,
back.
know
I
it's
said
Ed.
Washington.
No, he did. He did. I knew he went to Washington, but
Mhm.
I didn't know if he.
I didn't know where he ended.
No,
either.
I don't think he got any major league contracts
Okay.
after that.
So when
we
did
have 2
when did
strikes
Holiday
left.
retire? Because if you can.
It's either 19 or 20.
Okay, so he and you said
Maybe
he
I'm late.
ended.
No, you know
New
what?
York.
He might have been on the Braves actually to
Oh,
end his
no.
career.
Who?
Matt Adams.
Matt Adams.
I think that's right. I knew it was an NL East team. That's why I said Miami.
It was the Braves.
Did he ever play in Miami?
Oh, Colorado. What? He was on Colorado in 21.
He didn't even touch Miami. That was an absolute donkey pick. How about 2015 Matt Adams? 0 WAR, 5 bombs. He only played 60
24
games.
RBI.
Hit 240.
Oof.
What's the OPS plus? 78. That's a terrible baseball player. That is a
Yeah, it
horrible
is.
first baseman. That's like Goldschmidt last year level of bad.
Well, like he pointed out, Goldie actually kind of popped off at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yankees, that was a smart pickup. Anyone who says that was not a good pickup for the Yankees
Doesn't know ball.
don't know ball.
Okay.
I don't know puck, but I know a little bit of ball.
Shortstop, 2 outfielders, and a pitcher.
I like Diaz. When you said
Do you
that,
like Aledmys Diaz?
because he was kind of the GOAT.
Show me Aledmys Diaz at shortstop.
It was a strike.
Oh, he's shortstop. Dang it, dude.
Let me look at my bobblehead, see if there's any. Dude, Carlos Martinez might be a starter. Oh my goodness.
No, Rob, why'd you look at that?
I'm
You remember?
sorry.
You remember whenever I was like really high on Jack Flaherty?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you told me your dad said that he's the second coming of Carlos Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
right.
no shot. He was totally
He
right.
was so right. My dad knows ball.
I have a Daniel
Flaherty's doing better than
Descalso.
He is.
Martinez did in
He is.
That's
San
too
Francisco.
late for Daniel.
Descalso? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's too late for him to be in this lineup. Dude, this is so sad because we're close. Can we real quick? Can we look up Aledmys Diaz?
No.
No, I need to know when he played. I'll look
He
it up
might be
later.
17,
Gosh.
18.
I need to know when he was our starting shortstop because it's gonna make.
I'm going to say
go.
17. That's my lock for Diaz.
Yeah,
Uh,
he had a card last year on the show.
Shortstop's-
It said All Star ahead a year. I think it was 17 or 19.
Is shortstop someone we should get? Or is it kind of like a sneaky pick?
I think shortstop is someone who's so forgettable for the Cardinals franchise that you're just like, but whenever I tell you the name, like,
Is
you'll
that
know.
not Pete Cosma then? Did Pete Cosma play shortstop or was he second, third?
I feel like that's too late. Or I'm not sure. Okay, who's our
If my dad watches this, he's
outfields?
gonna be mad. at me.
Outfield picks. So Piscotty
So we
was
got Piscotty
known, we got
wrong.
Hayward.
You've been saying Peter Borges a lot.
I remember the collision between him and Piscotty, but if Piscotty's
Sad
not there, is Borges not there? And if he's not, I kind of like Jose Martinez.
Do we like Randall Grichuk too?
Yes, those two I favor more than Borges.
Matt, if Matt Holliday's on this team and I didn't guess him, I'm gonna kick myself, and it's not your fault because you weren't.
We have two
you weren't-
strikes.
Yeah, we do have 2 strikes. We have to be careful.
That blows. Who are?
Aledmys Diaz, you son of a gun, dude. He's so mid too,
He
like
is.
just absolute mid player.
My dad was really high on Diaz.
He looked good.
Everyone was high on every young Cardinals player for the last 20 years.
80.
Yeah, 80.
They're like, this Rogers Hornsby kid sure is hot. It's back in like 1917.
We gotta
This
shoot
Enos
for.
Slaughter guy.
We gotta shoot for an outfielder because we have
Yes, we
two
do.
options.
So
We
who's safer?
I think
Grichuk?
you should go
Do
for
you-
your pitcher.
Adam Wainwright is such an easy answer, but then you
Let's lock it
You're
because if it's
Carlos
not
Martin-
Wainwright, I'll leave right now.
Your
Don't
own house.
lock it.
lock it.
All right, Adam Wainwright.
Wainwright is correct.
All right.
Yes.
thank you.
Okay. Good.
I saw Martinez and I got scared, and then we also thought of Waka.
I think that was a
I
good
want
way
to say
to-
our 2015 rotation was like Wainwright, Lackey,
Dude, John
John
Lackey,
Waka.
Red
and
Sox
then,
legend.
Um,
Lackey.
It might have been Carlos Martinez and who's the lefty that we had?
Great question.
Um,
Who's the lefty?
it was probably Lance Lynn actually.
Lance Lynn's a righty.
I know, but I was thinking of
Is that the year he got hit in the head? And they're like,
He's like-
did that hurt? He's like, no, we have helmets on. They're like, Lance, that's a hat. He's like,
He's like,
oh.
we got protection. No, you don't. He's like, that's why we wear hats. They're like, no.
Jaime Garcia.
Jaime Garcia was, I think that's a little late on him.
Is it?
But he was on that 11 team. I think he was on the 13 team too. Okay, Rob.
Let's go Grichuk.
Shortstop and 2 outfielders. Yep.
We got it through
Randall Grichuk.
Confirmed.
Incorrect. Strike.
Oh,
Can I guess? Oh no, we have to guess
give me
the wins.
Give me the record.
Okay,
Or
hold
the how many wins they had.
13, best team in the National League. 14,
14, we were really good. We lost in either the DS or the CS.
we lost in the CS to the Giants, I believe.
Yeah, that one was when that one Travis Ishikawa, whatever his name was, that he hit that nuke into McCovey Cove. That was the name I was pulling for the whole
I
time.
went to that stadium this summer.
Was it fun?
It was sick.
looks
Is that
great.
ball is from there? Right?
Yes, and that cup is from
Is that
that. That's a seal line. That's their
It's a seal?
That's their mascot. Oh, what's his name, dude?
Giant.
Giant.
Isn't that the noise they make?
Yeah. They can bark too.
Oh, that's sick.
I had to get some memorabilia.
Let's go, Willie Mays. Come on, just go Giants. Rest in peace.
I'm grabbing my.
You might want to think more about the record.
Think, Mark. Think.
Here's my Oakland A's bat that I
You're
got.
Pulling
That's
out
cool.
relics. That is super neat.
Tell me how many wins the Cardinals had. 15. Are we looking at 85? 87.
87 screaming at me because we said within 3.
87 such a
St. Louis Cardinals win
it's a
total.
safe guess. I think 87 solid.
Because we like.
Because then we go into a bad stretch until 19.
Yeah, we're mid there.
And then we
for a
get swept
couple
by the
years.
Nationals and the
And then
CS.
it's all downhill from there.
And then we lose the wild card in 2020. And then we lose in the wild card in 21.
And then
we
Albert Pujols
missed
comes
20.
back.
No, and then we lost in 23 to the Phillies.
NLCS was 19.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got shut out by
DS was the
Sanchez, Scherzer, Strasburg, and someone
That was it.
else.
They were so good.
There
Oh,
was
no,
one
there was
more.
one- yeah,
there was
yeah.
one more that
Was it
destroyed
Josiah
us.
Gray? Was he still pitching?
That team was insane.
Not sure.
Was Patrick Corbin there? Might have been Patrick Corbin.
Patrick
Oh,
Corbin.
dude, that's what
It
like his
was.
last good
Bang.
season. Yeah.
It was his last good
What a
season.
great pull,
Bang.
dude.
Okay.
87?
87.
That is incorrect. They had 100 wins. That was their last
you
100 win season.
Dang. Okay, so can you tell me if Jose
I will tell you who
Martinez-
the last. So you were missing left field, center field, and shortstop. At left field, we have Matt Holliday.
Oh my gosh, he was there! No, I knew he was there.
That's rough.
I
And
knew
then
he
these
was
last two
there.
are really gonna. These are kickers. At center field, John Jay.
John Jay wasn't gone yet?
You didn't even mention him.
I hate John Jay, man. Dude, he
Dude, my
looks like
brother's
Michael
gonna kill
Jackson.
me.
Like, no, literally,
That
look
was
up
my-
Jackson 5 Michael Jackson.
You know he's a bench coach now?
For the
us?
Him
yeah.
and John Jay look the exact same. Young Michael Jackson,
and-
John Jay, identical.
Dude, I did not
Interesting.
think John Jay was there still.
Yep. And Borges was on the roster.
Okay.
So you were close.
So John Jay's in center, Holiday's in left.
Who's
Who
the
is our
shortstop?
shortstop?
You'll never believe this.
If you say Pete Cosmo, I'm gonna crash
Johnny
out.
Peralta.
No way!
Peralta,
Jahani. Jahonny.
That is right.
Diamondbacks legend.
Mm-hmm.
He played right
And
under
we
left
won
field
that
for
team won 100
Diamondbacks.
games.
Yep.
Dang.
Now, obviously, Matt Adams got hurt. So I think
Who was the first baseman?
Can I
on
steal
I think
this?
eventually
Can I-
Carpenter.
Can you pull up their baseball reference page?
Yeah, I think Carpenter eventually moved to
to first?
first, and then you
Also,
probably
what about
had
Jed
15.
Jerko? When does he come up?
I don't know, but I think 17 was Aledmus Diaz.
Yeah, 17 sounds correct for Diaz.
Yep.
100 wins.
Who did we lose to in the playoffs?
Lost the division series with the Cubs. That was when the Cubs started to be good. Jason Hayward leads that team in WAR with 7.
Wow. John Lackey was on the team.
Jaime Garcia
Jaime
was 2.
Garcia.
There's Carlos
C-Mark.
Martinez. There's Lance Lynn. There's Waka.
Grichuk
Grichuk
did play, so he probably came up later. And
Grichuk
center.
played well.
And then that was the year Rosenthal, I think, set the saves.
Tommy
record.
Pham was on that
Tommy
team.
Pham.
Kevin
was there.
Segrist.
That's a name I haven't thought
Yeah,
about.
Jose
Segrist
Martinez did
is
not play, I don't
crazy.
think.
Okay, so who are the best players on this team?
Brandon Moss.
Dude.
Xavier Scruggs was on the team. He's an analyst now.
Dan Anna or Dean Anna. Sorry, crazy name. Peter Borges is there. He played 117 games.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Holliday only plays 73
Piscotty.
games because he gets hurt. Hayward plays 154 games.
So Grichuk, Piscotty, Borges had to come in and play in relief of John Jay,
Cosmo's there.
Matt Holliday, and
So we had the outfield, just not the starting or opening day.
We just missed some spots.
Cosmo was there
Because
too.
Yeah, we didn't name a wrong. Aside from Aledmus Diaz, we
Right.
didn't name a wrong name.
And Jose Martinez, he did not play.
Oh, he wasn't. Oh, yeah, you're right. Wow.
Unfortunate.
All right, where's Aledmus Diaz?
Ended
You're
with,
kidding. He
ended
comes
with
up
Houston?
he comes up in 16.
Or is he still with you?
You're
16.
That's the
cup of
All-Star
coffee.
year.
That was
That's the All-Star year. 3 WAR, 111 games.
That's tough.
Yeah, because he's with us for 2 years.
But yeah,
He was
that's
in Oakland.
I picked
Yeah.
that year because it's such a middle ground year for them where they had so many guys that they cycled in and out, either due to injury or performance, that like were staples for the next couple of years.
You wanted us to fail.
Pretty much. Okay, sorry about that. The camera died. But that is all we have for you. They did not complete the 2015 lineup.
we didn't. We said
unfortunately.
one wrong name, and it was Aledmus Diaz.
That was a downhill.
He came up in 16. I'm gonna think about that when I go to sleep for the
Also, the
next month.
players we named in the outfield, they did
All
play.
correct.
It's just
They played, but they
Just
didn't start
didn't
on
start
opening
opening
day.
day.
Yep. Tough stuff. That's That's why I wanted you guys to do the 2015 though.
This is a good challenge.
Yeah.
You guys should run those.
Now you got to do
I
the
have-
1964 St. Louis Cardinals world champion team.
Right.
Stan Musial. That's it.
Every position.
Yep. He played.
He pitched too.
9 of them were on the field.
9 Stan Musials versus 1 gorilla.
Stan Musial, easy.
A gorilla from 1964.
Oh, they weren't cool back
Give him a baseball bat and he's fine.
That's
Give-
actually 1964 gorillas are scarier though because
Really?
yeah, because they were in black and white.
Right.
Like
Everything
King Kong,
was.
like King Kong.
Yeah.
What about a gorilla in the steroid era?
Gorilla, dude. Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
P-
Roger
PEDs
Clemens.
gorilla.
Barry Bonds leaving the doctor versus 1 gorilla.
All right. That's what we're leaving on. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Share this with your friends and family. We're trying to get 750 subscribers, which won't happen by the end of the season. And check out our Instagram and TikTok at the Outside Scoop Podcast on both of those media platforms.
Thank you for having me, boys.
Of course.
It's been
Thank
fun.
you.
It's
We're
been a
going to
I
do
look
a
forward to returning.
3-way Nux.
Whoa.
Bang!